What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 6T3, brought to you by TrackTac Tire Treatments. Are you looking for a tire prep program? Are you curious about prep in general? Well, if you have any questions at all, go ahead, shoot them my way. I will do my best to get some information to you, or I kind of know the people that would know about TrackTac, aka the owners, type of thing. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming by. My name is Ben, in case you didn't know. If you are brand new here, if you are new here, welcome. If you're new here, if you could subscribe, that would be fantastic. Everybody else, including you new subscribers, please hit a like on this video. That would be cool as well. Not very flowy today. A couple housekeeping things. In the last video, titanium parts, I said that titanium wasn't as flexible as standard steel axles. Apparently, I was wrong. My bad. It's a couple people let me know that, including somebody I trust with this knowledge. They said actually titanium flexes a little bit more than your standard steel rear axle. So my bad. I should probably research stuff like that a little better. I just thought, we'll take the concept of like carbon fiber. It's super strong, but it's brittle. I was under the impression that would be the same way, with titanium. It's super strong, but it can be brittle. But, which I'm no metallurgist, okay? I was just going what I thought was common, would be common knowledge or, common assumption. And secondly, I put out a short of me grinding a Reaper tire, and a couple people had mentioned that, there's some serious wobble. Now, full disclosure, I have the equipment that I built. I built my tire surfacer from a motor I had I did buy some pillow blocks, and then old bent rear axle I had, and an old hub I had. So, is the rim bent? Possibly. Is it the hub or a combination of the bent axle that I put in there that I thought I had the straightest part there? Maybe a combination of everything together. My bad. I guess I wasn't shooting for the best footage. I just wanted to show me grinding what it looked like to run 120 grit lap disc across a tire and what kind of etch it actually put on the tire. For those of us who like to put a heavier etch on there, I got to do a whole video eventually on and actually put something on the surfacer where I'm sanding with super fine sandpaper, because I have heard that it's not something that's common practice up here up north that I know of. I've never used it that way. Matter of fact, I prefer with the low bite tracks up here, I prefer a heavily scuffed tire that can absorb a lot of prep and little, nooks and crannies and everything to gain grip. Kind of like sipping a tire, only a little bit different if you have a rougher surface. It has a tendency to bite a little better. It's the way I've been doing tires forever. We've all used lap discs or a grinder disc up here at some point or another. I still do it. I'm sure down south that smooth sanding thing is probably something I just don't know about. I don't race on those type of tracks, so I have no need for that. Maybe eventually I will. Maybe I'll get to travel down south. Maybe, I'll do a little more research, pay a little closer attention, and I will do some videos on that. Anyway, this video kind of came about me because I have this dilemma, and I'm sure some of you do as well. Okay, what dilemma am I speaking of, Ben? I am speaking about not having new tires. I do not have brand new 2024 anything but Reapers. I do have brand new Reapers. There's only a couple tracks that I can run them at, so and they're Friday tracks up here. So it's really, dependent on whether or not, I get out of work in time and get there. My intent is to run them a little more. So far, I'm on board with the Reaper. They seem to work pretty good. Just going to take a little bit to figure them out, see what they like up north here. But that is not what this is about. This is about more or less about Burris tires. Now, I don't want to say it's common knowledge. It's assumed that new tires are a tenth or two faster than old tires. Fresher rubber, makes sense, you know, especially up north here, you get a little better grip. Now, your hard, you know, hard pack, dry tracks, the reason I don't have new burrs are I didn't buy any, and number two, the track that I used to run my Burris 33s at was Paradise Speedway. Honestly, I won a lot of races on that track because of the way it dry slicked off, it got shiny, it was a particular surface, there's a little bit of sand in it, you needed a harder tire. I won a lot of races on 2016 tires, 2017 tires, older stuff that was slightly a little more worn out, a little harder, always seemed to work the best at that track. And especially with the Open, you know, there's a debate to be had whether or not, you know, I don't believe the Opens to be as critical with tires, like, because you have so much horsepower, you can get away with not being spot on with tires sometimes, up north at least. You know, this isn't down south. I'm sure you'll get everything you possibly can down there. But anyway, I haven't had the need to buy new Burris tires. The newest set I have is, I might have a 2020 around here. The match set that I found, and then or a couple sets, I guess, I had full sets of 2019s. Maybe I have one or two 2020s kicking around here. But those are old frickin' tires for being it's 2024, and that could present a problem. So the track that I've been running at, you've seen the clone footage, is AMS. They are a Burris track, and here is my dilemma. I bought some 11s, you know, for the spring and for the fall when the track is nice and heavy, it's cooler out and all that great. Now they are used tires. I bought them, they're 2023, so they're the newest set of Burris I have, but the dog days of summer are coming up. Pretty soon that track is going to harden up. It's going to take a 33 tire, and I'm in a dilemma of not having brand new tires for that surface. So if you're in the position that I'm in, if all you have is older rubber, are you just out of luck? I don't think so. Now, there's an argument to be had of whether or not you are in fact giving up a tenth or two. When you have a newer tire, whatever brand it may be, in this case we are talking about Burris, I think that not a lot of people up here internally prep Burris. It's externally, and usually it's something that you're just doing at track. You're just, you know, you're prepping for whatever condition you happen to have there. At least that's my experience. You know, I've never done a ton of at-home work with Burris. They always, for the tracks that Burris work at, they just work no internal, and wait till you get to the track to do your prepping, whatever the day is going to throw at you. Well, I think that with the new set of tires, say I have a set of 2024s, that's how I'm going to treat them. I'm not going to do any internal. I'm going to surface them on my surfacer. I'm going to get the top scuffed off, and then I'm going to treat them as such. Now, with older tires, I don't want to say it's a benefit, but you can, because these tires are more than likely going to be punching a lot harder on the durometer, I think that you're going to be able to treat these tires a little heavier. Do some work at home. You're going to be able to build that base layer that week prior to. I actually started to prep that set of 2019s, or two sets of 2019s for the track. When I went down to AMS and ended up, I needed 11s for the day. You know, it got cold, it rained, and just were the 11s were the tire of choice. But I had 33s on deck that were prepped up with 3 or 4 coats of AT2, I believe I put on. So for you people, AT2 is Track Deck's version of Hot Lap 2. Different consistency, or different chemical makeup, their own blend. But basically that. So those of you, just giving you a premise, you know, if you don't run Track Deck, you wouldn't know AT2 is Hot Lap 2. We're going to say that. So I had wiped them with 3 to 4 coats of AT2 in preparation for that. And I think that might come in handy on some surfaces. Now, I'm not sure if I'm still going to, you know, I guess we'll find out once I show up. Once the track goes to a 33 type track, we're going to find out, because even at track, you know, you're on a fresher rubber tire, you're still going to want to prep less, because you're not going to want to get that durometer too low, or else you're going to start feathering it. You run the risk of getting the tire too hot and having it burned out. But a seasoned pair of tires, aka my 2019s are well seasoned, I'm going to be able to give lots of wipes, in theory, to maintain that tire, to bring that tire in and actually treat it for the day of racing. Not only did I do the work at home, but I'm not going to be afraid to wipe that tire once I get to that track. So I guess I was just really curious what your guys' thoughts are on this. It's something I thought of, it's something I got to deal with. It's sizing the tires great. I think one of the things also when you're dealing with a older set of tires is get them on their surfacer. Get that if they have been sitting around a while, if they haven't been surfaced in a while, that outer layer of rubber is what is going to, dissipate the oils the quickest. So if you knock that top layer off, you're going to get down into, where the oils still kind of reside. The entire tire in itself is going to eventually harden up. All that rubber is going to get harder over time. That's why you get dry rot. That's why, tires lose grip over time and all that stuff. But if you get that top layer off there, you're going to get to some of the fresher rubber, some of the, things, and then you can use, different products to introduce more oils into the tire, maybe bring that tire back. Is an older tire going to be as fast as a newer tire? I don't know. Like I said, the disadvantage is not having the new rubber. The advantage is being able to wipe whatever I want to wipe on that tire without fear of it getting too low on durometer, because chances are it's a little harder durometer, it's a little harder rubber. So, we're splitting hairs here. I'm bound to find out here. It's been a lot hotter right now. I wish I had the fan on. New York got warm, so this weekend I don't plan on running AMS, but very soon I'm going to run AMS. Chances are next time I go there, spring is getting toward its end. We're going to be in summer here. It's going to be dry. It's going to be dusty. The track's going to be taking rubber. It's going to get black. It's going to be hard and all that stuff. The 33s are going to eventually be the tire of choice at that particular track. So we're about to see, will my 2019s keep up with 2024s? I wish I had both of them. I wish I had 2024s to compare them, back to back type of thing. But it just, I'm using Burris as the example. You can whatever part of the country you're actually in, you can kind of apply this, this theory, or, maybe it's something you're experiencing now. Maybe, you don't have the funding like some other people do. Maybe you're kind of dealing with what I am is dealing with slightly older tires, and maybe having to throw a little product on them to bring them back to life in order to run with them. And I guess we'll see. Maybe I remember years ago, people were harder tires, older tires, Burst in particular, were sought after for some of the harder tracks. Now, I don't know that that's changed. Maybe if it gets super hard, maybe if I got super hard Burst, that's the way to go. But we'll see. It's going to be an experiment. It's going to be, it's something I'm learning. I'm still learning on this clone thing. I'm still learning. I've spent more time on tires this year than I had in UAS racing already. I mean, we're only in the beginning part of the season, and I have already surfaced and sized, and you have to be more particular. I'm finding because you have so little horsepower compared to UAS. You have to be more precise on your chassis setup. You have to be more precise on your tires. You have to pay attention to these things a little bit more, because I was 2/10 off. The last time I ran AMS, I lost the Kelsey Pease in the 375 class, and she was 2/10 of a second faster than me. That's a lot on a bull ring like that. When you're turning 9-second laps, that is a lot of speed to give away. So is it chassis setup? Was it tires? Was it, she's a phenomenal driver. So is it me adapting to the clone? Was I not running quite the right line? Did I not quite have the setup? These are all questions in my mind. These are all things that, I think it's going to be a fantastic obstacle in order to come across. But 2/10, was it tires? I know she had fresher 11s than I did. So was it all in tires, or was a little bit of everything? I think I posed that question on Dirt Kart Racer. Wesley asked a question, and that's what I'm missing 2/10. In order to compete for the win, I was missing 2/10, and I have a sneaking suspicion that part of it was tires. So anyway, I'm just rambling on again. I'm sorry, but this, it's these things that go through my mind, and if they're going through my mind, I know they're going through other racers' mind. You might be in the same situation that I am, and it is what it is. We will persevere. We will find a way around it. Maybe, I'm a heavy wiper coming from UAS. I like to wipe tires, so maybe this is an advantage to me. Maybe I can, everybody else is like, oh, don't touch the tires, don't put too many coats on there, and I'm just going at it. Like, yeah, you want this, don't you? All right, guys, I really appreciate you coming by, as always. Track Tire Treatments, bringing you Kart 6T3 every single week, every video, everything. Go get yourself some Track Tack. Go fast. Finish race. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming by, as always, and we'll catch you in the next video. Later.